What's up, guys? Welcome back. I did not get to another episode last night because I probably smoked a little and I got tired. So I'm here again tonight. I'm rocking my jerseys. Came in the mail. Liddy Bomb, my favorite player of all time. If you didn't know that, now you know. Arguably the best D-man ever in the history of the game. Detroit has not recovered since, but yeah, I'm happy to have it back. It will be up on the wall eventually, but I thought I'd wear it for this last episode before the draft. And I'm going to go about it a little different tonight. I think I'm going to try to compare the final two teams that are ranked in the power rankings. Deez Nuts and Dlynel came 1 and 2, pretty close in points for the voting pre-draft, but these guys have a majority of their team already established. I think Dlynel, there's only one player difference, so I don't feel like counting all of them. But they have a big chunk of their team set up. So I thought I'd go about it, and I would try it anyway. I'm going to wing it a little bit here, so bear with me. Let's go by goalies, D, and then forwards. I haven't broken it down into like center, left wing, right wing. So I'll just go straight up forward, see how it goes, and go from there. But great teams, by the way. I loved Patrick's team. I loved Dlynel had a good assessment. I think he basically, confirmed what I was saying, is that he has a strong team, but he needs to get some help from a lot of players and some production and some breakout seasons. My favorite word of the year. So, here it is. The tally for the power rankings: 109 points for Dlynel, 108 points for Deez Nuts. So they're heavily favored to win the league according to us. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I'm going to go break it down by goalies first. Deez Nuts kept 3 goalies. Raanta, Price, Dubnyk. I would say pretty weak considering your position. Dubnyk is solid. He'll put up some big numbers. Price is a wild card, but just on such a weak team. Preseason they've been doing all right, I guess, but I just think regular season their team's so weak without Weber for at least till Christmas. He's gonna struggle, and Raanta again is one of those wild card guys that, unless the Coyotes are shock the world and become a playoff contender, I just think he was a questionable keeper for Deez Nuts, where I think he could have drafted. I mean, if you exchange it for Lundqvist, I know Frankie dropped him. I'd rather have Lundqvist than Raanta. Just saw a little mouse run by, so sorry about that. So I would say like a B- for goalies for Deez Nuts. But Dlynel has these goalies. He's got Talbot and Holtby. Holtby speaks for himself. Stanley Cup winning team coming back. They're going to get a ton of wins. Holtby's a monster, one of the best goalies you can get in the league. I wouldn't say the top goalie, but I think in top 4 or 5, easy. And Talbot, I think Talbot's interesting because I know they played an exhibition game yesterday, had a shutout, so it's easy to get pretty excited. But I thought of him before this, and I thought Talbot's going to have something to prove. He's on this great team. They made a run 2 years ago. They shit the bed last year. So he doesn't want to be that guy, I feel like, that's going to be a footnote on this Oilers franchise where McDavid and these forwards are going to run the show and Talbot's just hanging on for the ride on the coattails of McDavid. So he wants to make a name for himself, and I really think he has the talent to do it. And I think Edmonton's going to really turn it around this year and has something to prove, and they're going to be a force, man. I really do think that. So I love Talbot this year, and I love him as your keeper. And Holtby. So I definitely give the edge to Dlynel and goalies. I think Deez Nuts, if you're going to win the title, you either need Raanta to have a surprise year and really shock some people. He's going to be all right. He's starting. He's going to get some minutes and some wins, but he's not going to light it up. Price, again, you want to hang on to him because in the future, they have a good young team, and like the next year, a couple of years from now, they're going to be really good. But he's going to not get a ton of wins, I don't think. I don't think anyone's predicting Montreal to make the playoffs, and I think the same with Arizona. And if either does, it's going to be a huge shocker, which, I mean, not just, oh, no, it's a shock. It's going to be fucking huge shock. So you're banking on 2 goalies here, Deez nuts, to shock the world. I mean, maybe you'll get one if you're lucky, but I wouldn't bank on it. So I would make some adjustments there, and you had the firepower to maybe make some moves, get another goalie. Like I said, Lundqvist was still out there. Bishop is still out there. So if you maybe didn't keep one of your guys in the first round and can get Bishop, definitely do that. But we'll see how that goes. But definitely round 1 goes to Dlynel for goalies, in my opinion. Next round is defense. And I think, again, very 2 strong teams. I just think Dlynel is so strong that it makes your D not look as good, but I think you have really good D's nuts. Is Subban, Klingberg, Karlsson, Ellis. I mean, crazy good D. I'd kill for D like that. So Subban, Klingberg are going to be top power play guys. Karlsson is, I think, underrated. I don't understand why people aren't targeting him. I'm doing a lot of the fantasy Yahoo drafts and rankings, and Karlsson's like off the charts. Now you can't even find him barely, and I pick him up in the 8th round. But you look at all the projections and all the last year stats, and he's top 3 in points. I think he was top 2 last year. I would check it out, but I don't feel like it. But he's a juggernaut, man. He's good. He's legit. And Ellis, I think, is a strong D on a good team. So you're gonna have that back-to-back Subban Ellis on Nashville. That's gonna be solid. So. But when you go to Dlynel's D-men, it's Hedman, Ristolainen, Letang, Nurse, Provorov. Nurse, I get it. I don't really care. I mean, I feel like that's a stretch for a keeper. But if you think he's gonna like have a big year with Edmonton, he just signed a big deal and all that stuff, and he's gonna get PIMs and hopefully play. He's not gonna get first power play minutes, but someone gets hurt maybe, but. I mean, he'll put up decent points. It didn't seem like he kind of seemed out of place for me. But if you want to solidify that, if you weren't so confident in your draft game for D, then I guess hang on to Nurse. You like that? You like that, Dwayne? I don't think you're confident in your game on your draft day, so you had to keep Nurse. That's what I think. But the other guys are legit. I mean, Hedman's top 3 guy. Ristolainen is on a very strong offensive team. I'm going to take a sip. Cheers. I have a drinking problem because of this fucking podcast thingy I got going. I just feel like I need to drink when I do these, so I just went and got another bottle of wine. So thank yourselves when I have to go to AA and fucking into a rehab center, but it's worth it. It's worth it for you guys. Letang, if he stays healthy, could kill it. He could kill it. He's such a good player. And Provorov is a good young D. So again, I'm gonna give rankings. I think an A+ for Dwayne and like an A-, B+ for D's nuts on defense. So again, that goes to Dlynel in my opinion. And now we get to the big show. Forwards, you guys are dominated. You basically take up most of the forwards in the league that are legit. I'm going to try to just go through this. You guys have a ton of players, so I'm going to kind of go through the list. Rhino supplied here, which I really appreciate. And I'm going to try to go from the bottom up, but you guys are so strong that I might mix in some players. But Ehlers for Derek. I love that guy. I think he's on a strong team. He's super talented, man. On the second line in Winnipeg, plays some definitely second power play. Might get some top power play minutes, but probably not. But that second power play is almost as good as some people's first power play, and he is just full of talent. I love Ehlers, and he always puts up big numbers. He's over 350, he's around 340, 350 fantasy points, I think. And he's just getting started. So he's big. I love your Florida guys, Huberdeau, Barkov, different lines, I believe. So you got basically one line 1, line 2 for Florida on a super offensive dominant team. And you got PP1, PP2, which is huge. So good on you. Good on you, man, for having those two guys. I think that's a good move. Let me jump over to Dwayne's team here, see what's comparable in those. Arvidsson, I would say, would be in that category. Holy fuck, you're strong. And Zucker probably as your bottom guys, which is pretty scary. But Arvidsson got demoted to the second line. I don't think that's going to last. Rhino's all about what's his nuts there, getting the first line. I forget his name. If I could remember it, I would say Fiasso or I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. Arvidsson's going to be on that first line, first power play. They're not going to mess around. He played last night, and that guy shit the bed, so he should be back on there for the season, at least be on power play 1. He's going to kill penalties. He's going to get shorthanded goals. I like him a lot. Zucker, again, is like a 350 guy, puts up a ton of goals on just an unnoticed Minnesota team. No one cares about Minnesota, it seems like. They're kind of weird and old, and fuck, I can't explain Minnesota, but they're always in the hunt, and they're good, and Zucker is one of those guys that are just a good sneaker pick, and sneaker, I keep saying sneaker, okay, it's sleeper, sorry, I'll try to get the lingo down here, I should be better at this. I think he's a good sleeper, and so is Arvidsson, but Arvidsson has a bigger name than Zucker for some reason, but Zucker is a 30-goal scorer almost every year, so good player. The one thing that counterbalances Derek here, which you guys might have to adjust, is Trocheck on Dlynel's team, who plays with Huberdeau. So you guys are canceling out there a lot, I think. I think Trocheck has the edge because I think he gets a lot of the peripherals a little bit more. But whenever Trocheck scores, Huberdeau is going to be involved and vice versa. So Dwayne's got a bit of the edge because I think Trocheck hits more, but that's something that Derek cancels out and then has Barkov, but not a big deal, but could be something you guys talk about later and see if you can figure something out if you want to try to make a run at kind of getting everyone on the same team, or if you like it like that, kind of spread out the wealth. But I like Florida a lot, so we'll see what happens there. So I'll go Dwayne. Hornquist is just you need a Hornquist jersey, so just hold on to him, Dlynel. He's playing with, I think, Crosby or Malkin. I have to check. I think it was Crosby and Getzel. But he plays first power play with just the best power play in the league, and he sits in front and just bangs away goals, and he always puts up big points, hits a bit, gets pims, so... Hornquist is just a Dlynel type guy, and he's on your team, so good for you. I'll try to compare him with someone else on your team, Deez Nuts, and I can't find anyone, so I'll just keep moving on. This is winging it. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm winging this. I don't spend a lot of time just like before the show going like ape shit, trying to write notes and making it, flow. Flow is the word. So it's not flowing, but you know what? Fuck it. This is what I'm doing tonight because I need to get these episodes in before the draft. And it's tough when you got a 3-year-old that's fucking ape shit bananas with energy. So I'll go to back to Deez Nuts. And one of the big pickups, and it's always been on your team, I try to get him, but Patches playing for Vegas Knights, man. I love this for Vegas, and I love this for Patches. And he had a good statement in one of the articles I read, and he goes, this is what he said. He goes, I just want to play hockey again like it was when I was a kid and just have fun. Could you go to a fucking better place to play when it's just fucking apeshit fun? I don't think so. I think the pressure's off. I think that coach there is letting the players play. He's in a great atmosphere. The energy there. He's out of fucking Montreal where they're just fucking on him all the time. He's not the captain anymore. Patches is going to light up this fucking league this year. I'll promise you that. I tried to trade him earlier, but I kind of like that he's on Deez Nuts teams because then Deez Nuts will be a Vegas fan by the end of this. I'd love to see Deez Nuts with the Pacioretty Vegas jersey. And this might be your year to get him. And if not, dude, just fucking spring for one. Spring for one and treat yourself to a nice Patches jersey from Vegas, man. They're so sick. The good number, 67. I think he'll probably wear an A. It's just a cool jersey. I think he could be a 40-goal guy. And this is what I love about Vegas is that, not to get too far off into Vegas and like off track, but they got that first line that they're not going to touch. And now you got Patches now going to play with Tuck, Holla, Stasny. I mean, the second line for that team is going to be incredible. Patches is probably going to get first power play minutes at some point, I would imagine. If not, there's not going to be a first power play. It's going to be PP 1.5 and PP 1.5 with the first line. And then you got Stasny. Stasny's looking good there too. So it's like a breath of fresh air for Pacioretty. So look out for him, man. I really think he's going to explode, and people are going to be like, fuck, because they had a shit year last year. He was on fire before that every other year, and he still was decent last year, fantasy points-wise, man. He's what a great hang-on and a great place for him to land for you. So that should be exciting, and I hope you get into those games, Deez Nuts, and do you mind? Hope you don't mind I call you Deez Nuts. I know you're my brother, Derek, but this is your name on this league. So that's amazing for you. Man, you guys have so many good players. It's so sick to even go over. I can't even get to Deez Nuts' first three, which I think are the best in the league. So let me see who Dwayne's got here. Shifley. I mean, fuck, it's so good. Shifley, I'm looking at as a second tier, which is sick because I think he's first tier. And I know you got rid of Simmons for him, and I think Simmons will have a bounce back year this year. I talked about it in Frankie's video. But I think Shifley is just a great talent on a great team, on a great power play. He's going to light it up again, too. So, I mean, he's center eligible only, is his only downfall. But he's that good where he's going to be, you wish you had him. All right, holy crap. Now we get to the big guns. I talked about Barkov. All right, so we're at the big guns. Hall, MVP, questionable, I think, in my opinion. But not fantasy-wise, man. That guy lit it up for you last year. Can he repeat? I mean, that's a pretty high standard to keep, but he has that ceiling, which is great. And I don't think it was a fluke. I think he's that good. He must feel comfortable there. The chemistry must be good. With the young rookie there, I got to look him up. He's got to be on Tom Selleck's stash. Who has him? Someone's got to tell me who's the center rookie for New Jersey. Maybe he's not on Tom Selleck's stash. Oh. I thought he was. I can't think of his name right now. And Palmieri. Palmieri is a free agent. I think that was the deal. Was Palmieri for... I think you got Nurse, and then Frankie didn't keep Palmieri. So, strange things happening there. But Palmieri is looking good in preseason on that line. They're just good. And now your big guns. Sagan, Lane, Kucherov. And I've been doing a lot of the draft rankings, a lot of all that stuff. All three guys first round picks. I mean, every one of those guys has been ranked first round. Sagan's late first round in most, but I mean, that's ridiculous. I think he's going to be lights out. Kucherov is number 2 in almost every league I've drafted in, behind McDavid. So you got the second best player. I mean, it's a little different for our league with the hits and stuff, but he's the second best player. Lane has been going early. I just don't like him. I got rid of him, but he's going to score. He'll score 50 goals one of these years, and you have him, so good for you. So Derek's got Lane and Ehlers. So he's got power play 1 for Winnipeg and power play 2 wrapped up. Now we'll go to Dlynel. It's kind of confusing. Deez Nuts, Dlynel. Ben Marchand. Marchand's been going first round almost every time. And for a reason, he gets pims, he gets goals, he gets assists, he makes a fool of himself, he's a douchebag, great for you. And Dwayne's got the Pasternak to back that up, to score goals when he gets assists. So that duo is deadly. I mean, how we ended up with Marchand and Pasternak and Dlynel's team is a shame. With Ben, with Tavares. I mean, it's tough. Dlynel is the one to beat still, I think. And with these forwards, I really think it's tough, but I think Deez Nuts has the edge in forwards slightly just because he has 3 probably first-round draft picks. If we drafted today, blank slate, Deez Nuts would have 3 first-round draft picks, and I think Dlynel would have Marchand. Tavares has kind of been going late. Pasternak's been going late. But Dlynel's got like a lot of second-round guys for sure. Ben's been going late, early. I mean, he's up and down, but debatable first-round, early second-round guy. So you're a little more well-balanced. Derek is just top-heavy. Kucherov, Lane, Sagan, Hall. Like, boom. Fucking powerhouse forwards that I wish I had. But it's going to be tough, man. I think Dlynel is still the guy to beat. I think Deez Nuts is right there, and he's gonna make him sweat this year. I'm hoping to be in the mix, but after looking at these two teams, it's hard to... I mean, we need injuries. I just lost Jones tonight for 4 to 6 weeks, which sucks, but he'll be back. And I got Weber. I mean, once my team's healthy, my guys light it up, and I'll have a good draft. So I'll keep it short just because I want to wrap up this video and kind of get the league going. I'll do a post-draft fucking video because we had to do a video before, and we had a power rankings before. So you guys are intense. I love it. Someone just scored, and it's Spurgeon. Fuck, that's not good for my fantasy, but for my DraftKings. But I really do think it's going to be neck and neck between Dlynel, Deez Nuts, Boats and Hossa, Achilles. I'm putting myself in there. And someone should really do my team. I really don't think it's fair not to. But it's really good. It's fucking good. So we'll see how my team goes. But overall, man, I can't pick a loser from all these teams. I can't pick like this guy's going to lose for sure because his team's so poor. I'll tell you what it's going to come down to is effort. If you don't want to lose this year, I promise you this, you have to fucking put in an effort and be on the waiver wire, pick up a goalie that gets injured. Not pick up a goalie that gets injured, but pick up the backup of a goalie that got injured that night. You're going to have to do that once or twice. You're going to have to notice who's playing first power play. If a guy gets hot, pick him up off the waivers and hang on to him if he stays hot. If a guy gets a chance on, let's say, Tampa's first line, that's weird. You're going to need to notice these things, do a little research. Otherwise, if you're not that guy, with this group of managers, and from what I've seen so far, it's the off season, and I'm just overloaded with questions and comments and all this shit. And we're in the preseason. And it's not even close to starting. Now it is, but not when I was getting these messages. And if you're not one of those guys that's at least looking at what's happening, be prepared, man. Stash away a little bit of money here and there to buy that jersey for me, Dlynel, Deez Nuts, Tom Selleck stash, maybe. Hey, buddy, you're in the hunt, I think. So I like man, there's a lot of teams here. I'm telling you this, Dlynel does not have it locked up. He has the edge for sure. Injuries happen. Surprises happen. There are some holes, I would say, that people can fill. And it's all about this draft. Do your research. Look who's playing well. Look at the top scorers. Look who's playing with McDavid. There's like I'm not going to say his name because I might take him. Someone playing with McDavid right now that's never been drafted or picked on our teams that's got like 10 goals in 4 games in the preseason. So there's guys out there that could make or break your team. And I advise you, if you don't want to buy the jersey, do your research. And if you want to win a jersey, do your fucking research and let's get on it, because it's going to be a competitive year. We got 11 managers that are not messing around, and I'm one of them. If you're not one of them, yeah, you're in big trouble. So cheers, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here until after the draft. I'm going to do a live show for the draft for sure. So you won't have theme music. That's about it. And you'll have me ramble on a little bit more. And I'm not going to edit this video because I don't give a shit. Oh, maybe I will a little bit. But that's it. This is the preseason, pre-draft show wrapped up. Dlynel's the guy to beat. Deez Nuts is right on his heels. Achilles is going to be right in there. And I think Boats and Hossa makes sense. Has got a strong team if he drafts well. Tom Selleck's stash has his team he thinks is going to win. I mean, people got to make moves. I like... it's so many good teams, man. Prestige, they could do well. Everyone could do well. So, cheers, boys. Yeah, sorry to wrap all this up in one video, but I'm just trying to be realistic here of my timeline before the draft. And we'll see how it goes, because I can't wait to draft. I'm so up in the air about my first round draft pick. So many good options, and it's going to make or break my team, my first pick. So we'll see how it goes. Cheers, boys, and we'll see you Sunday. Be prepared.